Okay, log press, 80 kilos. Hi, I'm Glenn Anderson. Welcome to my video. So today I just want to talk about a few things related to training. First of all, I want to start off and tell you about one of the missing ingredients that was missing from my training for a long time and held me back. So I've been training for quite a few years, about a decade and a half. Started training seriously around 2005, although I didn't start doing strongman until about 2015. But anyway, so going back to my younger years when I first started out, when I was in my 20s, a lot of times I'd go into the gym and I would just like max out a lot. I used to go for the big weight and all that, and you know, I slept alright for the most part. I used to eat a lot, you know, I trained hard, the intensity was there, but a lot of times I used to plateau and hit a ceiling. And yeah, I mean, maxing out a lot didn't help, you know, it was eating into my recovery. So recovery was one thing, but the main thing as well, the main contributing factor I think that held me up and made me keep hitting my ceiling and didn't allow me to progress further, the one thing I wasn't keeping an eye on was volume. Because a lot of times in the gym I'd do like low reps and all that, so I was good at singles and all that, but I wasn't doing rep work or anything. And looking back through my training logs, I realised that I wasn't doing enough volume. I wasn't putting the work in, so my lifts could only progress because I just simply wasn't doing enough volume. But that's something I've now started taking care of. So sorry that I haven't done a video for a while. I have been injured. My nail has actually come out completely now, so I'm not feeling any pain now, and my back has recovered, so I'm able to start lifting again. This is my second day back. I started training again on Monday the 5th. I did legs on Monday, so today I'm doing pressing. So basically what I'm doing at the moment is I'm building the base. You know, one of the things that I neglected, one of the things I didn't know about when I first started training was about building a base. It's something no one ever taught me or nothing, you know, but it is very important if you want to get stronger, you know, because the strongest guys in the world understand that, you know, a pyramid will only peak as high as big as the base is, so you need to build your base, and that's what I'm doing now. It's my first week back, so I'm doing 8 reps on the log, getting the volume in, building that base, doing all the other work, putting all the work in and building up so that, you know, in the months to come when I start peaking, that ceiling will be high because I've built the base, I've done all the groundwork, and this is what this is now, doing the groundwork. Now this is the last set for the day. It's only 80 kilos, so it's nice and easy. You know, this is not difficult for me. But as the weeks progress, I will start adding little bits of weight gradually. Notice as well, because this is the first week, because I'm right at the bottom here, I'm trying to also, not only am I doing, I'm doing lots of sets and lots of reps, but because I'm in a phase building bit at the moment, this is an easy day for me. So over the next coming weeks, I'm going to be building that volume up. A lot of programs start with high volume and then they go down, but I do it in blocks. So I do like volume blocks and intensity blocks like that. And this is a volume block, so this is week 1. So the volume and the intensity is quite low, but over the coming weeks I'm going to gradually build the volume up and probably a little bit of intensity and all, but just enough that I still get my 8 reps. For the next 4 weeks I'm going to be doing 8 reps, but I do them in a fashion where I don't fail, where I've got a bit more in the tank. You know, this is not hard work. You don't want to be failing your reps at this point. This is an easy one, and you always want to leave a bit left, because when you come back, you don't want to, you know, hit your ceiling too soon. You know, you want to. I need to leave that so I can come back next week and do a little bit more volume, maybe add a set, little bit more weight, you know, gradually build that volume up. So week 2, a little bit more volume, week 3, a little bit more volume, and then our 4th week is the main part. But also, there's a lot more to it than that as well. At the beginning, on week 1, in the early stages, I try to make the lift as hard as possible. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, if you noticed, I did this log strict, and I lowered it. I used a nice slow eccentric tempo, at least 3 seconds. So I'm making the lift much harder than it would normally be by lowering it slowly and doing it strict as well. On top of that, I'm not wearing any wrist wraps, I'm not wearing any elbow sleeves, I'm not wearing a belt, so I'm making it as hard as I possibly can. Low weight, high reps, lots of sets, lots of volume, but also making it hard on myself as well. So as the weeks go by, I might take away the eccentric phase and just come down normally and do it strict like that. And then eventually, when the weight gets heavy enough, then I will begin to push press it. And then eventually I will start to wear elbow sleeves. I will start to, as the weight gets heavier and heavier in the coming weeks, I will start adding the belt and stuff. But at the moment, I want to make it as hard as possible. So no belt, no wrist wraps, slow eccentric, slow tempo, just making 80 kilos feel like a lot harder than it really is, so that when I get down further down the line, the big weight will be easy. So you want to make the lightweight hard, so the big weight will be easy later on down the line. So yeah, just to touch on, you know, the main point of this video, keep an eye on your volume. I write my volume down, I keep an eye on it. So I've only done 3 sets today, 3 sets of 8. I haven't added it up yet, but I think my log volume is about 2,000 pounds or something. But by the end, the log volume is going to be like 5,000 or 6,000 pounds of volume once I've finished as well, and that's just on the log alone. I'm also doing inverted rows in between, and now I'm going to go and do some close grip incline presses with the axle. I like to do these on a high incline as well, with an axle and a pause, to try and simulate the log as best as possible. And I'll be doing a few other bits as well and all that. So those accessories I'm going to be doing shortly. But I just wanted to touch on, you know, keep an eye on your volume, write it down. You know, the way I do it, I take the total of all the volume I've done, write the total volume down, the total amount of reps I've done, and then that'll tell me like how many pounds I've done per rep and all that. So that'll give me like a bit of the intensity and all, which should be low at this point. Your intensity shouldn't be too high at the moment. You know, this is volume that we're after here, and then of course, you know, the volume will increase in this block, and then later on I'll start doing intensity blocks. But for now, I'm just on the volume base building phase of the program, so I'm still on the first week. So like I say, just taking it light and easy. So yeah, keep an eye on your volume. Make sure that slowly, you want your volume to slowly increase over time, but it's got to be slow. Don't make the mistake of doing loads and loads of volume too soon, because there's 2 problems with that. First of all, you've got to recover from what you just did. If you do too much volume, right, you're just going to dig yourself in a hole recovery wise. You need to do a little bit more volume, but you need to be able to recover from it as well. But also the other problem as well is, if you do too much volume too soon, you've then got to do more volume in order to make more gains, and there's only so many hours in a day, so you've got to be really careful on that. You've got to go and look. Right, always keep a log. I'm sure you're doing this, but if you're not, always write it down, keep a log. This is what I was doing. I've been training for years, I've always kept a log, even going back to 2005. You know, I've still got log books of my workouts from like 2012. Well, I can go back and look at them, and you know, sometimes you might not feel like you're making progress, but you are, but just slowly over time. You know, I can go back and it's laughable what I was doing in 2012 compared to what I'm doing now. You do make progress. Bit by bit, you know. I mean, I'm natural as well. I've never taken anything in my life, so obviously being natural, the gains are going to be slow as well. And I'm 40 years old as well this year, so I'm just trying to like soldier on as best as I can, really. But yeah, just like I say, just don't. You know, a lot of people make the mistake. They think if they do loads of volume and all that, that the gains are going to come quick, but they don't. You know, you've got to gradually increase the volume bit by bit. You know, because like I say, there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much volume you can do and all that. So you want to like do just enough to make them gains. You know, obviously you don't want to be doing too much, but you know, because too much can be detrimental as well. Like I say, eats into recovery. You know, and then of course you've got to do more to compensate for that, and to you know, if you're doing £10,000 of volume or something and all that, and you're not making the gains, you've got to do like 11 or 12, you've got to do even more volume than what you did, you know, and eventually you're going to get to the point where it's going to take over your life and all that. You know, I work as well, so I do shift work, so I've got to do this around my shifts as well. So, you know, you've got to take that into account, you know, the amount of time you've got as well. You know, if you're doing loads and loads of volume and all that, you know, you've got to have the time to be able to do that. You know, it's alright for like a pro strongman or Olympic lifters, they get paid to do that, so they can train all day, they can get all that volume in. But regular Joes like myself and you and all that, we've got to take that into account, that we've only got so much time, so we've got to get as much volume in as well, but at the same time not affecting our recovery. So anyway, like I say, this is me, I'm going to be back now, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more content I can put out. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, you know, please ask me in the comments and all that, and I'll have a look at that. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.